Hello guys, KP Shamino here with a new video for Diablo 4, and in this video I'm going to talk about a mechanic for the Barbarian that is called Expertise. So it's a very cool system, but you need to understand it. It's not that easy to understand, but once that you understand it, you can make really nice builds. You know what kind of weapon that you need to take and all that stuff. So it synergizes really well if you know how you need to use it. So first of all, I'm going to talk about this screen. So what do you see here? You got like 7 weapons that you got here. And all those weapons, they got the same ranking system. It goes from 1 to 10. And with using a weapon and hitting an enemy with it, you get experience and it will go up in ranks. If you want to have a look what kind of things you get for every rank, you can see it here. So for a one-handed X expertise, you get like a percentage increased critical strike chance against injured enemies, double this amount when using 2 X's. And it will go up to the next rank. You guys can see if I go here to rank 5, I will get 0.5 percentage point more. At rank 10, they get a very nice bonus. So if they are at the maximum, they will get an additional bonus. And this one is a lucky hit critical strike, have up to a 55% chance to grant 6% increased attack speed for 2 seconds and so on. And that's all the same for every weapon here. So you guys can see it. You can just check it out. If you need to have a weapon that is applying bleed on enemies, you can use a two-handed sword expertise. For example, if you want to get a little bit more furry generation, you can use a one-handed sword expertise. So you can see it here. So you need to use a one-handed sword. Then the next step, how do you level it? Very simple, you need to use it. So you need to hit enemies with it and then you get experience from it. How do you do that? Because a barbarian, he got a lot of weapons. He got 2 two-handers and he got 2 one-handers. So that means that you can put all those weapons on certain skills. So how do you do that? That's very simple. So if you, for example, push S, you can see here all the skills. And if you hover over the skill, you will see arsenal selection. If you push now on your middle mouse button, you will see that this is going to jump. So now I'm using my two-handed sword. If I click one time, now it's my two-handed mace. And now I'm going dual wielding. And that's how you can know if you use a certain skill what you are using. So what does that mean? So if I put now on my whirlwind this. So I put now my two-handed sword on it. You guys can see it here. It's a two-handed sword. Legendary two-handed sword slashing. And we go to the expertise. You will see if I hit now an enemy with my two-handed sword, I will apply bleed. I don't have anywhere else bleed applying on my skills. So it's only this one that can do it. And that's how I tested it. So if I go now to my build, you can push here bleed. Where is the bleed? It's already on. And you guys can see I don't have any point in bleed at this moment. So everything that is like marked, here are markers. This one I got, but that's just to slow enemies. So you guys can see it. There is no source in my skills that apply bleeding. So now at the moment, if I use my whirlwind, I will use my two-handed sword. If you go now for my lunging strike, you can do just the same. So you can see here, just middle mouse button, you click on it. Now it's dual wielding. Wait, I need to push S first and then we do this. So now at the moment, let me have a look. What are we using? Yeah, I cannot see the weapons here. Ah, here we are. Okay, I need to scroll down. Dual wielding once again, two-handed mace and two-handed sword. So what I would suggest is the fastest to level is just put like every weapon on a certain skill. Because it does not really matter when you're leveling. So what I do is very simple. So I put my dual wielding on my lunging strike. Can I put it on this too? And I put on my leap my two-handed mace. And I put on my whirlwind my two-handed sword. So that means that all those expertise are going to be leveling when I'm playing. So that's very important. So that's how you need to do it. Then another thing, at level 15 you are going to get something that is called technique. That's this. What is technique doing? You can read it here. The technique slot allows the player to choose a weapon expertise effect that applies to all of their attacks, regardless of which weapon they are using. Select an expertise of rank 1 or above. So that means I cannot use my one-handed mace expertise because that's 0. But that means, so I got now at the moment a two-handed sword expertise because I'm using a two-handed sword. I got a one-handed axe because I got a one-handed axe, one-handed sword, and two-handed expertise mace. So that means, what can I put in the technique slot for the best power? That's something that I not yet already use. Because why would you do 2 times the same? So what can you put in it? You can put probably the pole arm in it. You can put the two-handed axe expertise in it, so that's really good. 4.5 increased damage to vulnerability enemies. The problem with this is that it's not going to level, because I'm not using a two-handed axe. But the best is, in the technique slot, take something that is not already in your weapon arsenal. So I will use this one. So now that means, if I'm going to use my two-handed sword on an enemy, I'm going to get the bleeding, and I'm going to get the expertise of the two-handed axe. If I'm using my leap, I'm going to get my two-handed mace expertise and the two-handed axe expertise. So this is very strong. It's like a bonus expertise that you get, but you don't need to use the weapon. But what I would do is just level everything out and put something here that got rank 10, of course. Because with 3 of 10 rank, that's not really strong. The best what I can do is now just go with the two-handed axe, put my two-handed sword here because that's already 10, and replace my two-handed sword with the two-handed axe and hit with my whirlwind with the two-handed axe and level it up. So how can you see that? You can test it really easy. So I got now my two-handed axe, and bleed you can really see very good. So what we are going to do is I'm going to try to find enemies. I'm here in my dungeon, so let's have a look that we can find enemies. Here is an enemy. So I'm going to build a little bit up the rage, and now you can see they are not bleeding. If I now whirlwind, you see they are bleeding. Do you see the ticking? That's the expertise of the two-handed sword. You can see that really easy bleed. The other are a little bit harder to see, but that's how you can see it. So at the moment, if you use a two-handed sword, I get this expertise. And that's how I know it. I thought in the past that you need to level the expertise of a certain weapon to use it to. So that's how you need to do it, guys. A very cool system. Try to use it at the benefit. So that means if you do it right, you can use in total 5 of the 7 expertise rank 10s when you play the game. Not at the same time, of course, because you are jumping between weapons, because you can see this really good. So if I leap, I'm going to switch to my mace. So now my mace switched. If I do learning strike, you see that I go dual wielding. Yeah, dual wielding. If I do whirlwind, you can see that I went to my two-handed sword. It's hard to see, but I did now a combo of all 3 of them, and I got expertise of all of 3 of them too. So that was it, guys. Have fun with the expertise mechanic system, and I see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.